I'm getting mine, ain't no rush. This perfection coming up, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. In the end, it's gonna be us. Don't need a spotlight on this grind, I run it up. In the cut, gotta eat, skip the sleep till the work done. I be up, I'm getting mine, ain't no rush. This perfection coming up, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. In the end, it's gonna be us. Don't need a spotlight on this grind, I run it up. In the cut, gotta eat, skip the sleep till the work done.
Showtime if you nasty. Welcome back to the Crosscast. I'd like to start this one off by first and foremost saying I really did not feel like doing this shit today. I've been going hard all week, super gym sets and shit. Remember last time I told you about that let the reps fall? I've been living that shit, so whatever workout I'm doing, I'm making sure it's 100 reps. That been taking a toll on me. Been working more, trying to secure the bag, as y'all would like to say. Just trying to put things in motion, man. I want next year to be my best year until the year after that. But so I'm just planning things for now, man. Just putting shit all together. I'm tired. I'm motherfucking tired today. But consistency is key, man. So if I want this to work, I got to treat it like I want it to work. And I got to make sure I show up. So I showed up. I'm going to jump straight in, man. Let's get to it. Kyrie Irving, first thing I want to talk about, man. Mr. Kyrie Irving. For those who don't know, I don't know what rock you live under, but for those who don't know, Kyrie Irving, basketball player, New York Nets, or Brooklyn Nets, should I say. And pretty much he's the guy that doesn't want to get the vaccine. He doesn't want to get it, and he's having trouble because it's mandated in New York that you have it to go into establishments, to work, to be a patron in places. And now he's running into problems because his home court is in New York and the Brooklyn Nets. So it's pretty much he won't get to play in any of the home games if he does not get vaccinated. He's standing his ground, and at least so far, he's standing his ground and he's not getting it. And while I'm not preaching out against the vax because I'm not a scientist, I don't get off into that. I agree with him. He should not be forced to get something put into his body that he does not want put into his body. When he signed a contract to play for that team, nowhere in the contract it said, hey, you have to put a substance that you're not okay with into your body in order to be a part of this team and make these millions of dollars that you make. He did not agree to that. So why should he be forced to do that now? I can see if there was some type of clause in his contract that said, hey, if new vaccines pop up, you got to take them. That's different. I'm 100% in his corner on that because he should not have to do that. That's not part of basketball. That's not part of what he agreed to. While many think it's very, what's the word? It's a safe bet. Like people like, well, you're doing your part to help keep people safe from COVID. More power to you. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, if he does not want to get that, he should not have to get that. I would be highly upset if I was a person that did not want to get a vaccine that you have already told me does not eliminate the chances of me getting the virus. So you can still get the virus. I don't see why they're mandating you have it. Now I can see if it was like, hey, if you take this, it's a completely 100% chance you will not get this if you have this vaccine. Then I can see you maybe mandating it. Like we want to save lives. We need to get rid of this problem. The only way to get rid of this problem is if everybody's immune to it. Okay, I could get that. I could get down with that. But since that's not the case, since it's still, they're learning as we're learning, I don't see how you mandating that is not a violation of someone's rights. That's violating people's rights. Oh, you can't come in the grocery store or you can't come to this place because you're not vaccinated. that's ridiculous to me. It sounds unconstitutional, but who am I, right? But when it comes to Kyrie Irving and that, I completely agree with him. And on the flip side, people who do get vaccinated, you know, that's for you. That's your choice. You have the right to choose that, just like someone who's not vaccinated has the right to not get it. It should be a choice. And that's fair to me. You know, the people that do get it, I'm not like, so I'm not coming here to say like no one should ever get the vaccine. I'm not saying you should. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm just saying when it comes to people and their rights, those need to be protected. That's part of our country. That's our U.S. Constitution. That's our thing. We're supposed to protect our rights. It's supposed to be land of the free, right? The free, like free will, freedom, all that stuff. That don't sound real free to me. But I ain't gonna sit on that too long. I'm gonna try to make this one a little quick because, like I said, I'm tired. So really just prayers up for Kyrie. I hope this situation works out in his favor and no one else's. You know, and when I say no one else's, I mean like the people that are trying to force his hand. I don't want this to work out in their favor. I hope he doesn't fold. And I hate to have to put him on that pedestal to where it's like, hey, I need you to essentially be Jesus for people. Because really, you don't have to do that. But I just like to see a role model. You know, he's a role model to people. I like to see them stand on their convictions and not fold in the face of oppression. You know, I like to see that. And again, I'm not saying do or don't vaccinate. I'm just saying it should be a choice. It should be a choice. It should not be something that's forced on you, that you're made to do with something that is pretty much still in the experimental stage. Even if it wasn't in the experimental stage, you should not be forced to do something that you don't want to do. That completely goes against the idea of freedom. I don't know what other people think freedom is, but someone forcing you to do something is not freedom. And we got a bunch of stuff in this country that is real iffy in terms of freedom, but I'm not gonna get here and spit a bunch of that to you because there's a time and place for everything. Let's switch gears here. We just go straight on. Straight gears to Dave Chappelle, man. Dave Chappelle dropped a special, The Closer. Anybody that knows me knows I'm a huge Dave Chappelle fan. And I believe I've spoke about Dave Chappelle on this podcast before, or on this web show, whatever you want to call it. Crosscast. That's what I meant. But I'm a huge Dave Chappelle fan. Like, from his comedy to his philosophy on life. Like, when I listen to him interview, you know, I always grab something from it. Even with his jokes, you can kind of tell where his thought process is. And that's just, I can get behind that. Like, I don't look up to many people. I can grasp different things from people. Like, oh, I like that about that person. There's not many people that's like, man, that guy's cool. I would like to learn something from him. I feel like there's something he could teach me about life, not necessarily just a craft or a job. I feel like I like that guy. I admire what he does. That's kind of a role model type person for me. So he's got the new special out. What do I think about the special? I think it started off kind of slow. You know, the jokes were a little, what's the word, slapsticky, you know, where he's talking about the priest and coming on the face and all that. That's not really what I'm here for. Not to say that his shit was bad, but that's not what I'm here for. The second half is where Dave got the cooking. That's the Dave I love. I love that, where he's like taking real life instances and making them jokes to where you kind of like, hold on, I wonder if he's really telling us a story or if this is just a joke. I like that. Like, cause that's usually where he gets into his bag and he tells you really what he's thinking. He just dresses it as a joke. Or he might say something funny in there. And if you're not paying attention, it's going to completely pass you. And you're just going to be like, oh my God, that's how he feels. But you got to listen to the entirety of the joke. You have to listen, or the entirety of the special, or whatever the fuck. You know, the guy's brilliant. The guy's brilliant, and he articulates well. And I believe he can communicate very well if you're paying attention. Now, if you just hear a certain word and you fly off the hinge, that's you. Like, okay, him in the trans community. He's been getting dogged by them for a while now. He's transphobic. Nothing about that man says transphobic. Nothing about that man says homophobic. Hell, even in the special, he says he had a problem with white people. Nothing about that man even says racist. I mean, if you really pay attention and you seeing like, oh yeah, his best friends like white dudes and shit, you know, but that's something I picked up from watching different things. So it could be, that one could be missed. But when you got the trans community and him, I've never seen the beef there. I've never seen it. At the end of the day, the guy's a comedian. So he's got to make shit funny. That's kind of his whole job. That's kind of the whole reason we know who he is for making shit funny. He didn't come out as a civil rights leader, or, you know what I'm saying, or some type of activist for this, that, and the third. He's a comedian. So if you can just so happen to advocate a cause or something while you're a comedian, that's cool. That's cool, but that's not what's expected of you. At least that's not what I expect of a comedian. When we see him do that, more power to you, you know? So, but I was watching that and I picked up something interesting that I didn't know. And which I usually, when I hear him, he'll usually give me some story about something and I'll pick up something I didn't know. I didn't know that the Harry Potter lady, J.K. Rowling, I did not know that the Harry Potter lady got canceled. And that's so funny. That's how you know this cancel shit is not real. It's funny. I didn't know she got canceled because I don't remember any of these fucking Harry Potter people that's on my social media or that I know personally. They still Harry Potter people. So whatever. But, and I learned that term, T.E.R.F. T.E.R.F. Oh man, what was it? Trans, radical, exclusive, some shit. Feminist. Trans, radical, exclusionary, feminist, or something. Whatever it is, it's pretty much women that ain't as fond of trans women. I ain't even gonna say that ain't as fond. They just they want their separation. And I can understand that. So when he spoke about that in this last special, I guess the trans community's up in arms about that. And it's like, how can you be mad about that? That's like, man, so there's women who are, I don't know what natural women, if that's what you want to call it. How are they supposed to feel? Like, that's crazy to me. Like, where it's like, I don't mind treating you like a person, because you are a person, regardless of what you identify as, regardless of what you feel like, regardless of what you look like. You're a person. There's a certain level of respect that should just be on a person level. It shouldn't matter race, sexual orientation, gender. It shouldn't matter. Any of those things shouldn't matter. There should just be a certain respect of people. The golden rule: treat others how you would want to be treated. That should fly everywhere. So for me to be like, there should be some separation between it. No, it just in the identity of things. If I decide tomorrow that I want to be a woman, it's not the same as my mother. You know what I mean? Like, how can I explain this? I really don't care what people do. I don't care. But I know if I change my sex tomorrow, I'm not giving birth. It's impossible. So for someone to identify as a trans woman and then someone else to identify as a woman, a natural woman, I think they got a word for it. A cis woman. I don't even think that's fair. Why do they have to change their title because someone else wants to do what they're doing? They shouldn't have to change their title. You change your title. If you want to come on over here where we at, come on over here. But don't move what I'm doing. Don't knock what I'm doing. Don't slight anything over here. Don't change anything over here. Because this is where we're already sitting here. You don't come to our table and get to changing stuff. And I can agree with that. Now, is it something that's big enough to where, like, it should be a beef between the two parties? I don't think so. Because really, what does it matter? You can think you're whatever you are, and you can be that. That's up to you. That don't change nothing that happens in my day-to-day life. I just think it's funny that the lady got canceled for pretty much agreeing with that philosophy. And they're like, oh, she's a TERF. I don't know. He said they canceled her. I couldn't tell she got canceled. I never noticed anything change. But I just thought that was interesting. It's like, man, women had to fight for rights and all of that. They've been fighting for rights for years. You know, I mean, it's a lot better these days than it's been in the past. But they had a whole struggle going on. And where were the trans women for that? You know, and again, I'm not saying that trans women can't be called women, but it's different. For us to sit here and act like there's no difference would be a disservice to women. It's a disservice to ourselves. Like, we know this shit. Like, people, I don't see color. I don't see bullshit. Maturity and tolerance is knowing there's a difference, but still giving the respect and still giving the love or whatever, and still treating people like people. People are still people, but there are different types of people. It's okay to be in a classification, but respect should transcend all of those classifications. There's respect, and then there's people. Like, the respect should cover whatever type of person you are, or identify as, or aspire to be, whatever. Respect is the important part. And tolerance. No, I don't understand what would make someone be a trans person or even a gay person. Just because I don't understand it doesn't mean I should miss out on I got gay people that I love. You know what I'm saying? So I should miss out on them because I don't understand why they're doing what they're doing? No, because at the end of the day, it doesn't fucking matter. It don't change anything about my day. That's your choice. It doesn't hurt me. It's not harming me. And it doesn't matter if I understand. I don't understand why someone would be a librarian. I don't hate librarians though. You know what I'm saying? That's what you do. That's what you did. And like a lot of people was like, well, like I don't think it's true. I don't agree with the comparison, but they like to compare gay to black. I've seen it, like, because I've made posts on my social media, and it's like, well, pretty much me saying I don't understand what would make someone gay, but it doesn't matter if I understand it. All that matters is I'm all right with y'all. Whatever it is you doing, that shit's fine by me. As long as you're not disrespecting me, what do I care who you fucking, or how you fucking, or what you identify as? Why would I care? As long as you're not doing nothing to me, we all here. And it's not for me to understand. And I don't think me understanding it would make me more tolerant of it because I'm already tolerant of it. So it's not like I don't need a better understanding for myself because of my morals and my principles, which is treat people how you want to be treated. So if I'm going to treat you how I want to be treated, it don't matter what you do in your free time. It don't matter. Because I'm going to treat you the same way regardless. So if one day I was given the enlightenment on why someone decided they wanted to be gay or trans or whatever, it still wouldn't change the way I treat you because I already treat people with respect. So it wouldn't matter. I was going somewhere too and I forgot. Anywho, just that whole scenario, and then you got people they out there like we should get him off of Netflix, and then you wonder why the head of Netflix is like no, because he listened to what the man was saying. Dave Chappelle didn't just come out there and bash trans people. He gave you a whole story of his trans friend that he brought out to open up for him. Opening up comedy for Dave fucking Chappelle? You just get this opportunity? I'm sure there's someone in your city that would crack somebody's head open with a hammer to get that same opportunity. If somebody was like, hey man, I'll get you to open up for Dave Chappelle, but you gotta go over there and kill that guy with me. Here's a hammer. I'm sure there's somebody who would take it in your city, wherever that may be. Somebody would do that. So Dave Chappelle has this trans friend who he noticed from his shows and made friends with, had them come open up for him. And if you watched his other specials, he had a story about meeting a trans person at the bar, and they had great conversation. He made a joke like, yeah, we had breakfast. That's probably who he was talking about. He made the joke sound a little funnier, but that makes sense. That reads when he tells you how he met the person. And it's just all silly. If you listen to what he's saying, he actually did not bash trans people like in a hateful manner. Anything that you could have taken as bashing, it was either A, true, or B, a joke. But he clearly let you know, like, I don't hate these people. And then to top it all off, at the end of the show, he's like, I'm not going to make any more jokes about the trans community until I know we're both laughing at the same thing. That was like, that's very commendable. If I was him, I would not have made any bold declaration like that. I wouldn't have did that because I know what I'm saying. And if you go and break down what I'm saying, you'll know what I'm saying too. If you just heard a snippet and went crazy on it, that's your fault. And I would not feel the need to coddle you for that. Because like he said, let you go, he didn't say it, but let him be talking about black people or anybody else for that matter. It's fine. You can say whatever you want. Like, you can go to town. But you piss off somebody in that community, and then people are like, cancel Dave Chappelle. For what? For what? It's a lot of stuff that goes on in our world, or in this society with the social media and stuff. Like, he pointed out the baby. He shot and killed somebody, and that helped his music. He said something about people sucking dick in a parking lot, and it's like, shut them down. I mean, that was stupid for him to say. It was stupid. But, again, so what? So what? You can take it as he was saying it like this, or you could take it as, it doesn't matter for real. This cancel culture makes shit so hard to express opinions. People are allowed to have opinions. It's a way to express it in a way that's not hateful. I don't condone being hateful to someone for a reason that's not hurting you. Like, I would hate someone that was trying to kill me. I would not hate someone that's living their life, just doing what they want to do. I can't hate you for that. That's not my style. I'm sure there's someone who's like, I hate anybody that's not like me. I'm not that person. Nor do I desire to be, and I don't desire to be around that type of person. But, damn, man, we can't do comedy? Like, damn, y'all chill. That's crazy. Like, I can't get good jokes. That's one thing I love about comedy, man. It's like we gonna make light of issues, or we can all come together and laugh about some shit that probably would have been a fight if one of us did it outside. You know, like, I feel like comedy is one of those things that bring people together, and it's a lot more important than we may give it credit for. You know, it's like a pure form of expression sent in a way that's not really meant to hurt. At least the comedy I watch. I'm sure there's somebody out there that's like some hateful, spiteful motherfucker that'll get up on stage and probably say some off the wall shit and mean every bit of it. And that'd probably be somebody I don't watch. See, when we compare the plight of the trans and that of race, I don't like that comparison. It does not feel fair. I don't hear in history books about trans slaves or, trans housing inequality, for bank loans and shit. there was a whole system in place against a color of people. I've never heard of a whole system in place against a sexual orientation, or I'm not, and I don't mean to be offensive if I'm calling trans a sexual orientation and y'all identify it as something else. Forgive me for being ignorant. But I don't think those two things are the same. You know, it's wild, man. And look, I'm being careful what I'm saying right now. That's why I keep stopping. I'm being careful because I don't want to say anything offensive. That's not my intent. My intent is not to offend. But there has not been a system in place to keep this group down. Because in all honesty, this group, people that are trans, gay, that whole community, there's people in positions of power in that community. So there's never going to be, there's only going to be a certain level of problem, and it's not going to be on a systematic level. It's going to be on the, look at that, it's going to be off that dumbass dude down the street who's like, look at that gay guy, let's beat him up. It'll be a person-to-person thing. It won't ever be a system created that y'all need to fix. That group's never going to have to go bang with a system. You know, there doesn't need to be a whole Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, all these people that need to go die for y'all to live equally. Y'all are already living equally. You know what I mean? And it's also something you can tuck. My bad. Like, if you're gay, I don't have to know you're gay for you to be gay. You know I'm black. I can't take this off. I can't hide this. I can't just not volunteer the information. Because look, okay, boom. Say I walk past a gay guy. How do I know he's gay? What does gay look like? I mean, now you have your more flamboyant, where it's like, I want you to know I'm gay. That's fine. But then there's some gay guys that's just like, shit, they look like motherfuckers I'd be at the gym with, you know, or motherfuckers that play professional football, you know. They just look like men or women. You don't have to tell me you're gay if you don't want to. I can't not tell you I'm black. I don't have to say anything. It's just there. And you know, there's never been like a trans water fountain. You know what I mean? I am okay with the idea of the bathroom. I don't mind that. If they had like a different bathroom, if like say you're trans, you don't want to use the men's bathroom, but you still have a penis. You know what I mean? And say you don't want to use the men's bathroom. Should you have the women's restroom? I don't think I care for that idea. Maybe if they had a third one, go for it. If you have a penis, I think you're supposed to go in the bathroom with the penis. Because I don't know what people's headspaces are. If I had a daughter, I don't want Bob in the same bathroom as my daughter. Do I think Bob's going to do anything to my daughter? I would hope not. I don't think most people are going to do anything to your children. But when it comes to children, that's a chance. I don't take chances with children. You know what I mean? Because the damage can be too great. I'd rather just not leave the door open for anything. I'm that guy. So I could do the bathroom thing. But outside of that, whatever y'all got going on, that's what y'all got going on, man. But when people are, if you want to be on equal footing with everyone else, you got to deal with the same shit we got to deal with. If a comedian wants to make a joke where they're clearly telling you they're not transphobic, if you listen to the fucking joke, deal with that, man. Y'all gonna have to toughen up, man. That man ain't did nothing wrong, man. And it's not, and I'm not being biased. It could have been a comedian I didn't think was funny that said the same thing. And I'd be like, he didn't say anything bad. And then icing on the cake to commit to not speaking on it again until everybody's on the same page. How the fuck do you get everybody in that community on the same page? How do you do that? So in my head, I'm taking it like he's not gonna make any more trans jokes. I hope he comes with the next special or whatever he does. I hope he just comes straight out the gate with a trans joke and like, I couldn't do it. You know, that'd be hilarious to me. Not saying y'all's feelings are not important, but this man has clearly voiced to us that he is not against you. Now, if he was just somebody coming out calling trans people all types of messed up names and never like giving any substance, and it's just like, man, he hates this group of people, I'm with y'all on that. Get him out of here. You know, once you get big enough to affect society on a larger scale, it becomes your responsibility to handle it a certain way. So, yeah, sometimes I come in and I'm like even when I was talking about Kanye, like, he's a rapper. Why y'all care about their personal life? Once you're big enough to affect things socially on a larger scale, with great power comes great responsibility. You can't just be completely ignorant of what you do because it does affect people. And that is unfair, yes, but that's the way it is. And because people can't seem to separate shit and come up with ideals on their own, unfortunately for those in those positions, yeah, you're held to a higher standard. It is what it is. Fair? No. Reality? Yes. So it is what it is. Yeah, so pretty much shout out Dave Chappelle, The Closer. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. Sticks and Stones still my favorite. But The Closer definitely, once he really got cooking, it turned into what I came to see. I'm happy with it. I will watch it again. I have watched it again. And I'll watch it again. so yeah, it's going in my Dave Chappelle's classics again. Let's go with the music, man. Make music great again, man. MMGA. I've been pushing this for the last month or whatever, however long. I'm still going with it. Make music great again. Now, one of the episodes, I used Don Toliver as the artist for that. I'm doubling down on that. Don Toliver dropped a new album last Friday called Life of a Don. I like it. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. I like, and I also see a little maturity in his music. I noticed the tempo slowed down a little bit, but it's still him. You still get the same sound. I think there's a couple songs he went even more of an R&B approach, like, because it's kind of some hybrid R&B singing that he was doing before. I think he embraced that R&B bag a little more, which is up my alley. Yeah, project's not too long where you're having trouble getting through all of it. Production's nice, but that's to be expected because, you know, he with Travis Scott, that production's always fire. Beat selections was nice. He didn't have really too many turned up songs on there, which I can see being a problem for other people. For me, where I'm at in life, I embraced that. So yeah, that was definitely I like the intro song. Intros to albums are important to me. It's the intro. It's how you coming off. I need to pull me in. Please don't make this hard for me to keep listening. Especially on song number one. If you ain't got a fire song, talk. Say some fly shit for 20 seconds. And then kick me into the music. Whatever though. I'm a fan of intros, and probably because I come from the CD era, you know, where they're like, my son's probably like, the fuck's a CD? Like I come from, we had CDs where there'd be intros, there's outros, there's skits before songs and shit. Like, so I miss that. I wish some people would do that, but they probably won't. But I still look forward to the intro. Like, how you gonna open this album up for me? And I think he delivered on the intro. The last song on it's not necessarily an outro, but I think it was a good pick for the last song because it didn't really mesh in the middle. It was kind of its own thing. But I'm giving y'all the play-by-play on this album. It was dope to me though. It was dope to me. I was waiting on it, and he showed up, and I am not disappointed. So Don Toliver for this week's pick, Make Music Great Again. Yeah, he the first repeat person since I started doing that. I didn't know his album was gonna drop when it was gonna drop. I didn't know it was dropping until like a week before it dropped. So check out any of his albums. I think there's 3 studio albums. I have not been disappointed yet. And again, it depends on what you're into. But that's definitely my bag. That's definitely up my alley. I like it. So let's see. We got Kyrie, we got Chappelle, we got Make Music Great Again. Yeah, that's about all I wanted to say. Look, I'm thinking I was really gonna come super duper short this episode. Shit, I kind of took up some time. Y'all kind of got me into my shit a little bit, just a little bit. But go ahead, get up out of here, man. It's your man Cleveland Homesy Professional. Showtime if you nasty. Thanks for tuning into the Crosscast. Catch y'all next time. Peace.